Hey everybody, what's going on today? Just running through my little practice routine. I hope you're all doing really good too. Almost forgot to say that. Um, so big hand cramps and stretching going on here today. I think I did a lesson on let 'em in, but it's been so long I really can't remember. I kind of vaguely remember it, but anyway, I figured I'd throw this into my little practice routine. Uh, in yesterday's video, I was talking about, the first thing we do when we pick up a guitar is whatever it is we do a lick, or we do scales, we go through pretty much the same motions, for a while. At least I do, and then I noodle for a while, and so I'm gonna try to start my routine with something practical and new and something that I'm working on. Work on that first, and then noodle. So here we go. This is day 2 of it. I went back to this though. This is a really fun song to play. It's just really tense and really beautiful at the same time. I can remember the first time I heard this when I was a little kid. I didn't even play music or anything then. And I just loved that song when it came on the radio. It was like, wow, it's just so cool. It makes you kind of feel happy and maybe sad. I don't know. But I just loved the movement that was going on there. It did something to me internally, I guess. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start on the A string in the first, the G string in the second, and the B string in the third fret. Okay? I'm not using a pick today on this. Sometimes I like to play things without a pick, just because it feels cool. It feels more like a piano player to me. And I tend to react differently playing with my just my fingers. So what I'm doing here, we've got the A in the first, like I said, G in the second, and B in the third. Now I'm hitting all 3 at the same time. That's how it starts out. Okay? We'll run through the chords first. So the next move is just to remove your middle finger. And then you put it back on. Okay? Okay? Now we're going to go to the next set of shapes, which is this A string always stays in the first fret. So now we have the G in the third and the B in the fourth. Okay, now we're going to remove our ring finger. Still play all 3 strings, okay? Every time. Then you put it back to the original. Then you just remove that finger again. Then it will go again back to it. So that's kind of the resolve, is that. So in any case, that's all the chord shapes. So just remember that. Pull your middle finger off. Here's the next set. Pull your ring off. And then back to the original. And then it does go to the chorus. We'll get to that. So anyway, let's start out right here. And this is just something that I'm doing without a pick, like I said. So I'm going to show you the movement that's in between these chord shapes. So we'll start out with all 3 together. Be like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now this is the part that I want to describe to you. Now I'm just hitting this A string with the side of my thumb here, and the B string, I'm just popping that up slightly with the fat part of my fingertip. I'm not using my fingernail. Honestly, I don't want those notes to sound louder than the original hits. Okay? I want those to stand out more. Okay, so what you do is when you hit that first chord, so you got to start doing it almost immediately, but there is a little pause where you let it kind of just a second before you get into it. Now, you want want that note to keep ringing, the G string. Okay? Because it still sounds like you're playing the chord, which you are, but now you're toggling between these two strings, okay? And that gives it that piano feel, okay? Like this. So you want to let those notes ring. It's a really cool thing to do on a guitar. It really does feel piano-esque, and it's just really nice under your fingers. It feels like you're really doing something, and it's really simple, but so remember to hit that, you want to let that G string ring. So just work on getting that with a really light touch. And it's kind of a bouncing motion. Really soft. Okay, so work on that. You're gonna feel probably some strain in here. You know, it's tough for me to grip that like that because it's way down here and it's kind of an odd grip. I can't really do it thumb over and make it comfortable. I have to kind of position my thumb, you know, behind it like that, which can cause some strain. So you really have to be careful. Don't do it like all day long. Just, when you start to feel it, then it's time to stop. Move to something else. Or try to move your grip where it does feel better. But for some reason, I have to do it the way I'm doing it. Because my hands are kind of short and whatever. So, the next section will be the chorus, which is... You got F minor, you can play it down here like that. Okay, and then it goes to B flat. Oh, that's a little loud. Let me turn that down just a little bit. So you got F minor, B flat. That's still just that part of the F minor chord. I haven't got my finger there yet, but so what I'm doing here is plucking the D string. I'm just barring the G, B, and E down here in the first, and this is the D string in the third. So I'm plucking that E note. That's what we're looking for. So if I hold this shape, I'm going to get both of those notes. So that's how I do it. Then it goes to B flat. And what I'm doing there, I'm going down through that block chord, and then I roll my ring finger up just a little bit so I can get that note and the rest of that chord. It's really tough to do that without playing the song, I guess. You can do that little descending thing. Okay. that's the chorus. It just goes back between F minor, B flat. You don't have to do all that stuff I was doing. You can just chug along with it or whatever you'd like to do. But that's one way you could incorporate the melody. Okay? Now, the other section, when it goes to all it is you're going from this F minor to a D shape in the 5th fret. Okay? That's let 'em in. Okay, so you got a D chord right here, 5th fret. And then I'm just going to bar them same 3 strings, the G, B, and E in the 5th. Okay? So all we're doing is it's just that little chromatic thing we're looking for. So we're holding the first note in the D chord position. So we have to flat that note a half step. So I just bar them. And then we're going to play a D7 shape, which gives you but you have to use these 3 grips to keep the whole thing working, okay? And then it's just D string in the 3rd fret, and then B string in the 1st, slide it up to the 3rd, back to the 1st, and put that 1st grip on, the 1st chord we learned, okay? So that. Now that's a pretty simple song, but to play it the way we're playing it, it's kind of tricky, honestly. That's why it's going in the practice routine. I had that down pretty good at one point. I can kind of remember playing it quite a bit, so that's what it is. You learn so many different songs and so many different little things. It's hard to keep it all in the routine. So, I'm going to kind of try to mentally make 2 piles to mess with. Stuff will be in this pile. Rhythmic stuff I'll work on. Single note playing will be in another whole pile. Maybe chords as well. So I'm gonna just draw from my weaknesses basically and try to work on them as best I can. And this is one of them. I don't play my hands enough. I do, but sometimes it's good to set the pick down. You're so connected to the instrument. It really feels different, and I think it's good. Just if anything, it breaks up the monotony of repetitive things with a guitar. I love noodling and playing scales and practicing chops and doing that. I do it, a lot when I'm playing a lot. But, if you just do that all the time, when you try to play something like this, these chops are going to be weak, So it's good to, expand on it. I know it's a big thing to deal with because once you learn hundreds and hundreds of songs and chords and all these little licks you do, it really is hard to keep it all up here. I recommend taking your phone out, shooting a video of your practice routine, and then the next day add to it. See what your weaknesses are on film. I definitely can see mine on a daily basis. I can't even believe I post some of the stuff I post on YouTube, but you guys probably think I'm terrible. I really am. I'm just on YouTube. No, I'm just kidding. There was a time when I played a lot better than I do now, for sure. I'm not playing nowhere near as much as I used to when I was younger, and that's the whole point. It's good to try to keep them chops up. Try to learn some new ones because I can already see the writing on the wall as you get older. You're going to forget most of them in the end, you know. You're going to, there's stuff that you will always remember instantly, but, you know, there's a lot of things that you won't. I'm already forgetful of a lot of stuff that I worked hard at, too. So, you know, it's good to keep this stuff together. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little lesson. I love that song. Like I said, it's a really neat song, very interesting, and it's just really simple. I think the simplicity of it and just that little pedal tone movement is what really, you know, hooked me on it. It was just, I wanted to know what that movement was. Even before I was playing instruments, I just, what is that, you know? So now I figured it out. I'm in my 50s, but I did figure it out finally. Okay, folks, well, thanks again. We'll see you guys real soon. Be good. Okie doke.